Jason Note 4 here. Got an urgent call out to Dick Allgire. One of the things I didn't tell you about on their Patreon page, again, they have a private service. They charge money for it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you everything that they put on their thing for free. That would be wrong. But I told you a couple of things about Trump the other day. In that same session, Dick Allgire said, here's the top news stories for the month of November. And there was, I think, 9 or 10 of them. I could not stop thinking about one of them. Nuclear incident that's going to be covered up. It's going to be dangerous, but they're going to cover it up and they will not admit it and they will just keep covering it up. And no problem. There's nothing here. Don't worry about it. But there is something to worry about. Listen to this first before I continue.
Hello, Yeshua Network. I am Nathan Wheeler, owner of the page here, and I am actually in a neighborhood that is bordering the California fire that started in Thousand Oaks. And I am I am coming on this video tonight for the second time tonight. As you can see, I got a little bit of nerves going on because of the news that I just heard. It turns out that the fire has crossed an area called the Santa Susana or Santa Susan field. It is an old nuclear test ground. And of course, the news is saying that there is nothing to worry about and they're trying to silence any talk of this field. Of course, residents who live in the area know about this field. It's been here since the 1940s. It was a place where they did testing for nuclear weapons and different types of jet fuel.
Okay, so now that I got that out of the way, Dick Allgire from October, end of October, regarding big news stories for the month of November. I told you about an airplane crash. They got that one already happened. The Trump thing I was just talking a little bit about hasn't happened yet, about this Trump being subpoenaed, men in suits, courthouses, banks with microphones. That hasn't happened yet. Something with the Prime Minister May or Theresa May with the Brexit thing, some kind of secret thing. And again, the news came out days ago. Bang, got another one hit. One of the scary things hasn't happened yet that I keep telling you, repeating, bomb blast, blast wave, bomb, explosion, like a major event. Hasn't happened, and hopefully it doesn't, but again, deep state. However, radiation event like Fukushima, radiation zone, cover-up, denial. Now, Dick did a video. He did a video that goes along with that summary that they put out there in their Patreon. Okay? And I watched it, of course, and he goes in a little bit more detail, but it's simply this. There's going to be something with radioactive, something getting over the place. They're going to, oh, no, it's fine. It's nothing here. Don't worry about it. And there is something to absolutely be concerned about. Now, I'm over here talking to my buddy Joe, the movie guy, you know, the one I talk about sometimes. He lives in California. He lives right there near Thousand Oaks where the shooting and the fire happened. Got close to his house, but didn't get to them. He's okay. But my wife's sitting next to me a minute ago and shows me this thing on Facebook someone sent her, and it's about the video I just showed you. So I said, Joe, do you got a Geiger counter? You got a radiation detector by chance? He goes, yeah, I got one. Haven't used it in a few years, but I got one. Time to pull that sucker out. And as you go around places, bring it with you and test the air. Test it out. He says, why? I said, well, I told him, Dick Allgire. He knows all about Dick Allgire. He said there's going to be a pretty significant radiation event, nuclear event. There's going to be a cover-up. And he goes, oh my God. I said, what? He goes, I was just kind of thinking about something. What? The Simi Valley nuclear incident. Now, what that guy's name he just gave in the video is not Simi Valley, unless Simi Valley stands for something else that he just said, or it's the same thing. What Joe told me was the Simi Valley radiation incident was something that happened a long time ago, and up until the 3 Mile Island major nuclear incident, that was the most, the worst one out there that to date until 3 Mile thing happened. In other words, this is still a bad one. He says where this fire is, it's going right through there. He says, you know what? There's a town called Calabasas, and they are under mandatory evacuation, and nobody can figure out why, because they're not in the danger zone for the fire. Yet it is a mandatory evacuation. He goes, and from where it's at, from where that's at, I think that's why. The winds are probably blowing right down in there from the fire, the heat and all that, just pushing it right down there. So he goes, that might be why they're doing that. I said, oh my God, it's a cover-up. Just like Dick Allgire said, it's a freaking cover-up. There's absolutely reason to be concerned, rather than the authorities tell you, hey, yeah, listen, there's a potential radioactive incident happening here. We need you to leave mandatory. They're not telling anybody the reason. It's just, oh, there's a fire going on. We need you to leave mandatory evacuation. It's not just because of the fire. Matter of fact, the fire is not heading in that direction apparently, or it's over a hill to where it's not. He told me there's no concern, and other people he's talking to can't figure out why the hell Calabasas is under mandatory evacuation. Doesn't make any sense. Well, it does if they know that there's wind that's nuclear freaking wind. And by the way, WebBot hit. I got 2 words for you WebBot fans. Tell me if you remember this one. Ill winds. ILL winds. WINDS. Winds a blowing. Ill winds. Remember that one? How about that? So this is breaking news. You guys in that anywhere around that area, and maybe quite far away, because smoke can travel a good ways, and with it those smoke particles, fine particles that you can inhale in your lungs, and if there's any radiation, it can stick to particles, it can stick to stuff, and if the ill winds carry it over, we got a problem. And when I say we, I mean you in California. Depending on where you are downstream from the winds, Simi Valley and this other place this guy just talked about in that video, you may need to get the hell out of there. Or at least I hope one of y'all got a radiation detector, because when that Fukushima thing happened, me over here in Florida, I got one. I bought one. Just in case. And anybody on the west coast of this country, Fukushima would be flying over, floating over from the Pacific Ocean. A bunch of y'all should have some damn, metal detector, radiation detectors, because of that incident that you've been sitting there collecting dust on, that you need to go put some batteries in and test that son of a gun out. You might have a serious problem on your hands, and the government authorities are going to cover it up according to Dick Allgire's remote viewing session. And based off of what that gentleman just said in the video I just played for you, they're already in the process of telling everyone, don't worry about it, it's fine, it's cool, don't sweat it. Holy shiznit. I've got a call to Dick Allgire, left him a message. Dick, it's JSNIP4. Your thing, your ill wind, your radiation thing, I think it's happening right now. Call me as soon as you get the message. And I maybe need to bring him on to tell you, to have you listen to what he has to say about what he saw in that remote viewing session. I got an urgent call to Dick Allgire. He says, I'm not here right now, but if you're not answering, I'm either doing a remote viewing session or I'm on the phone or something. So, man, hopefully he'll call me back tonight. He's not too busy. Breaking news. Holy crap.